Hi, everybody. Um, this this video is going to be. I'm going to explain exactly how this program thing, this DuranDuranbot assist composition works. I'm going to go in pretty much, like just really like how like what I think is really cool about it, like how it composes and how it really, I guess, just works. Okay, so in past videos, I kind of just um, went over about this stuff, about setting like an average part length and um, and stuff like that. I added some stuff onto it since then. Batch duplicate, which is basically just duplicating a certain amount of like a batch, like a certain like from say 1 to 4, and then duplicate that into say 5 to 8, and that's that batch duplicate. And then I added merge, which is basically basically merging two parts into one. And then trim, which is basically it's to select a part and then uh, cut out like certain parts, or basically just um, like use the slider to determine which 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 part of the piece you want to keep, and everything outside of this range from bit blah 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 to that, everything outside of that would be cut out and discarded. And you could basically, I guess, in a sense, like splice uh, like different parts together if you want. So yeah, so that's what I've added on since then. And I also want to go into detail a little bit about how this program works and why I think it's really cool. So the first thing I want to mention is that uh, this program uses machine learning. So and so you can teach DuranDuranbot how to compose music the way you like it, based by doing a certain number of things. First off, you can once you build a piece, you can press this button, and and it will learn the entire piece, uh, and that means it'll basically train itself to make music according to your preferences. And not only that, but while you're composing the piece, DuranDuranbot will learn how you like to compose music. There are a couple of things that it does. Um, every time you click a new part, or no, every time you hit generate new for a part, so generating a new part, a new audio section for like a part, uh, like new mini composition for like say part one, like the audio for part one. Every time you click that, if you don't change it for 2.5 minutes, it'll train itself based on that. And then every time you batch duplicate or duplicate certain parts, it'll train itself based on those. And every time you merge, it'll train itself on that. And every time you trim, it'll train itself on that. Anything that indicates that you like something, it will train itself based on that while you're composing. And I find that pretty cool. Um, uh, and so that's one thing that I find really cool. The next thing I want to talk about is how DuranDuranbot, um, uh, I guess another way DuranDuranbot, or something else that DuranBot does in order to compose music or help you compose music. So say you have a piece of music. This is a song I already made. I'm going to play it at the end. But say you have a part you want to make, and say you already have a part. You already have part. You like say 1 through 27 already has audio in it. And you want let's say 28 through 30 is empty, and 31 and 32 is not empty. So 28 to 30 is empty. Okay, so 1 to 27 has audio. 28 to 30 has no audio, and 31 to 32 has audio. So what happens is when you generate a new part that has no audio in it, or even if it does have audio, every time you generate a new part, a new audio for a section, for a part, for example, 28. Every time you generate new audio, it actually composes off. It composes off of the last note. I mean, the last part that that has audio, and like before it, and the next part that has audio after it. It does so by using its machine learning data, and it bases what it composes in this part 28 off of what part 27 composed. So I guess like based off of the notes most recent from 28 that's in 27. So I guess whatever is the most the last notes of 27, it'll base off. It'll well, because you see how DuranDuranbot composes music is it composes using a system or technique that I call bit-by-bit circular composition, and that's actually that was actually inspired by how from what I've heard Duran the band writes music. From what I've heard, every player in the band Duran, they all write together, and they pretty much and they say it like every note is decided upon by every member of the band. Like that's how like they see themselves, I guess, as composing, and I found that to be really awesome. I think that two is better than one, as they say, and the more people who have input, and the more equal it is in terms of the writing process, the better music you'll make. And I think that everyone should be involved in a band doing that in every writing process. So this bit-by-bit circular composition is basically just a composition has a string of bits. Let's say you have certain like instruments, and it'll the way DuranDuranbot composes is it it doesn't compose a part. Like one instrument doesn't compose a part, and another instrument writes another part based on that part or anything like that. Each instrument it it uh, it literally composes the piece with every other instrument, literally bit by bit, and each bit can take up. I mean, each bit is smaller than a note, or it can be. So for think of a bit like a computer bit. A computer bit can make up, or many computer bits can make up like a character, like a letter in a computer program. So 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 DuranDuranbot, it creates, so one instrument creates one bit, then the next instrument um, creates their own bit based off of the bit that the last instrument created, and so on. And and uh, and each note will end up, and due to that technique, each note will end up being a result of the of the of what everyone else has done, what every other instrument. So let me restate that. So every note that an instrument creates is based on every other thing or on every other thing that every other instrument has done in real time. Um, it's it's like three instruments building a piece of music, one building block at a time, like each like together. I guess I'm not sure exactly how I had to explain it, but it's really it's really they're all composing like in real time together. Like no instrument is doing it by itself, and that's where I got the inspiration from Duran Duran. You know, to like I decided to build DuranDuranbot that way. It's inspired by Duran Duran and how they said they wrote music. So getting back to how each part links to each other. Um, uh, I mean, yeah. So I just explained how each part, how composition works in DuranDuranbot. So so it uses that and its machine learning data. Uh, Also, yeah. So machine learning data. That's the way DuranDuranbot composes is crucial to the to DDBot's ability to train itself based on machine learning data. So so uh, so um, so when okay, so I'll just make this short and sweet. I'm not sure how much time I have left to put on a YouTube video. Um, so you know it composes based on what the last part composes, and based on what the next part composes, and um, and it uses the machine learning data to do so. I find that to be like really awesome because it's really intelligent, like the way it does that. I really know no other computer program that does that, quite honestly. And yeah, so I mean, and it uses like a composition technique, which actually utilizes both the last part and the next part surrounding the part that you want to generate a new piece, a new part, and it uses a compositional technique to do that, uh, which I find to be cool as well. Maybe I'll explain that in another video. But yes, so it's it's quite amazing. I think it's really cool, and and it's pretty technical from a programming, I guess, standpoint. But it's not that complicated to understand. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just technical in my opinion. But and when I say technical, I mean like I mean just really cool. That's really what I mean. So yeah, and then so basically, in summary of what I just said, when you create a new part, when you generate a new part, it composes based on what the last part has and what the part next to it has. So you can literally like, I mean, so it really just makes the piece make sense theoretically. Like any part you create, uh, no matter where it is in the piece, like you could create a part here and a part there, and that part would compose itself based on that part. Um, and you could have space in between and create a new part in between that, in between this and this, and it'll do the same thing, and it'll base itself on this, and it'll base itself on what that is, and it'll just make sense theoretically. It's like, I don't know, I just find it really really intelligent. Um, so yeah, that's all about what I wanted to say. Um, and then I want to play a piece that I made. Um, you know, like like all the stuff that I just said is really really cool. And I guess I just want to make a disclaimer before I play the piece. It's that well, I want to say that it might. I mean, I don't know. Like I kind of wrote it really quickly, and when I wrote it, DuranDuranbot was not trained at all. So it's not a really good example of the of what it's not a good audio like composition example of like you know a fully like a trained DuranDuranbot program. But I made it like quickly, and it literally had no training data at all. So but it did, but like as I was working on the composition, it did train itself. So maybe it at some point it started learning. But so yeah. But I wanted to talk about those things that I mentioned before. I think that's really cool. Those were really cool, and I just have to make a video about it. And I mean, at least the concept is cool. Like at least the concept is cool. And I think that anyone who's interested in 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 using that kind of concept to build an AI program that makes music, I feel that would be a great it would the things I just talked about would be something that would really help your AI program. I'm not sure how many minutes. Yeah. So okay. All right. So I'll just play the song, the piece. Um, Again, I want to make this disclaimer. Uh, Number one, I made it really quickly. I didn't really put that much effort into it. And number two, um, DuranDuranBot is barely trained. I just started training it like today, and so yeah. All right, let's hear it. yeah, so that's a little piece that I made today. Yeah, so again, I'd like to highlight what I talked about before. Um, really, the way that it composes. I think theoretically, it's amazing. Like it's just so amazing. Like I kind of see it like I don't know, just like the whole idea uh, about DuranDuranbot automatically composing based on the area it's in, like automatically. That's just so amazing. And that's what I think it does. So, I mean, I have tested it a bit, like a good amount. And I think it all works. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not really like. I mean, I guess it kind of just. I mean, I think this is really just the type of stuff that you get with AI and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to take any kind of credit for. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think this is just like a natural result of working with AI. It's not really. Anyway, so yeah, so yeah, that's my video, and um, yeah, maybe I'll make more videos at some point. All right, bye.